Good day. Once again, we find ourselves at a crossroads in the basement doing an episode. It is episode 81. It is March 22nd. This is Three Things with Ian. I am him. I am the guy. And I'm drinking my coffee. This is a lighter roast. And once again, my body is rediscovering that lighter roast coffees have a lot more caffeine. So cheers to that. I think going from dark roast to a medium light roast is always a bit of an adventure. With that first cup. Anyway, on this episode, we are going to talk about what I saw last night and what I think should have been the Best Picture winner from the Academy. We are going to talk about what makes an ideal sandwich. I will walk you through what I look for in a sandwich. And lastly, I had it at my tongue. It'll be a surprise. When we get to it, you'll be surprised. Anyway, here we go. Before we get going, though, big shout out to Western Michigan University Broncos men's hockey. They have advanced to the finals of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. They beat North Dakota State. They play, I'm not sure who tonight, but this is a big game. They've already basically locked up an appearance in the March Madness bracket equivalent for men's college hockey. They've had a phenomenal year, and I wish them the best tonight as they take on an unknown opponent in St. Paul, Minneapolis. Okay, so I had the privilege to, I waited until Sing Sing, which was one of the 10 films nominated for Best Picture. I waited until it was streaming on HBO, and I watched it last night, and I was blown away. Essentially, Sing Sing is kind of a movie in a movie in a movie. It takes place in Sing Sing, the prison, and it follows a group of men who are in a rehabilitation program through the arts called Rehabilitation Through the Arts. I actually got it right. I just looked. So they put on plays for the public, and this is just a way of them expressing their humanity. They are led by a man named Divine G, who is a playwright himself, who been incarcerated for a crime he did not commit, and he is an extraordinary individual. He's a real person. What I think makes Sing Sing particularly special is that there is violence. It doesn't overstay the fact that these men are in a maximum security prison. We don't really learn much about these crimes. We learn a lot about the men through their expression of the arts. It's a beautifully shot movie. The resilience, the power, the transformational power of arts. Any study you'll ever read on recidivism shows that people who undergo programs like this while incarcerated have a much lower rate of committing crimes once they are free. And really, what is the point of just putting people in a cell and letting them kind of rot when they still are humans, they still have the basic inherent rights, and they want to express themselves. People want connections. They want friendships. Even these seemingly very hard men who have led very difficult lives up until this point. So it's really just an impressive film. The characters, most of them themselves are actually prison inmates who are going through this very program. The prison is Sing theater arts. There's a lot going on here. Coleman Domingo is an individual who, if you don't know who that is, you probably do. He's just phenomenal in everything. He brings just an incredible amount of pose and just softness with his eyes, and also a great mustache. And you just see how much he helps others. He elevates those around him. Yes, they put on a play. Yes, that is in the background, but it is really just the inmates engaging in exercises with their theater coach, and just dealing with grief and sadness. Divine G's been in prison for, we don't know, it's been decades at least, for a crime he did not commit. He's worked hard on getting out, and we're doing his parole papers and trying to find evidence that would pardon him for his crime. Not pardon him, he didn't do the crime. Anyway, this is a really fantastic prison drama film. I can't say enough about it. In a different year, without a lot of, Substance and Anora were just such different films that I think the Academy kind of was drawn to them. But Sing Sing, now it's available streaming on HBO. Just an emotional film. I don't think you'll find a dry eye on the couch or in the theater. This is just a great film, just top to bottom. It's not very long. It's like an hour and 35 minutes. It doesn't dwell, like I said, on the violence of prison. There are some moments where we are reminded of just how inhumane and how terrible institutions like this are. And it doesn't forget the fact that these men have committed crimes either. It really does a great job of walking that fine line. And goodness gracious, the arts. I don't understand why people don't value the arts and just the ability to let go of oneself and all the baggage that these men have, and just act, just be a different person for a little bit. It's just phenomenal. Anyway, that's Sing Sing. It is a movie directed by Craig Quidar, and it is based on the real-life rehabilitation through the arts program that is one of the most impressive institutions in men security prisons across the United States. So anyway, just check that out, please, 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 please. The next topic, sandwiches. Let's talk about our dream sandwich. For me, I'm a maximalist. I've always have been. So my sandwich is kind of like the Dagwood in those cartoons. So I start with the bread, as we all should. I want a really nice sourdough with a good crust, a good bite. I want that to be a thicker, heavier bread because I want to be able to really lather some mayonnaise, some mustard. As far as lunch meat, as far as meat goes, I want preferably two different kinds of meat, maybe a ham and turkey or a ham and bacon, and I want a thick cut, almost like when you cook like a honey baked ham, in form. I want it to undulate. I want those layerings. I want a great piece of lettuce. I want preferably one big piece of lettuce. The greener the better. I want tomatoes, but I want them thinly sliced if possible. I do like pickles. It's not a must-have, but I do enjoy pickles, green peppers, onions, depending on what we're doing here. But in terms of just the base sandwich, I'm going to go with a mayo, a little bit of mustard, lunch, some meat, lettuce, tomato. What else do I really appreciate on a sandwich? Oh gosh, I like everything, but I'm trying to think. Those are the foundational things. I want it big. I want it to be like a really juicy, big bite. I want to get all those flavors. I want the different textures. I want the hard bread and sort of cheese. Sorry. I want a provolone or a cheddar. I want 1.5 slices of provolone, not 2. That can overpower it. If it's more of the Italian vein, I do like an oil and a vinegar. I don't mind a wet sandwich. Some people don't. But I do. If you're gonna go with the mayo and the mustard, I do want a pretty good schmear. I want to be able to see it, and I want it to kind of also permeate through that bread a little bit. I'm not opposed to a toasted sandwich. I don't need it toasted. I do like toasting. Kind of holds its form a little better, holds that crunch, doesn't kind of soften and sort of smushing itself in the middle. Man, there are so many sandwich places out there. Obviously, the world is full of Subways and Jimmy John's and Firehouse Subs and New Jersey something subs. But, there's nothing better than going to a little artisan place where it's really more of that better ingredients, that handcraftedness. I think a good sandwich is one of the best meals you can put in your mouth. I really do. With that said, a bad sandwich is kind of just a waste. But, yeah, what do you like in your perfect sandwich? In terms of lunch meats or meats, are you a BLT person? Or do you want just some bacon? Are you okay with ham, turkey, salami? What are you going for? In terms of vegetables, I like a lot of vegetables. I could name a bunch more, but it just lettuce, tomato are a must have, and then maybe some onions, depending on where we're going with it. I could do all kinds of different vegetables. I love my veggies. So, what's your perfect sandwich? Let me know what you think. And topic number 3, also food related. Store-bought eggs versus farm or backyard raised eggs. I was able to do a little bit of a taste test this morning. Had a coworker bring me some chicken eggs, and me and my dog ate a few of them this morning. And what I noticed about the farm, I guess I'm using farm very loosely. Not commercialized chicken eggs. I did think that the yolk was more vibrant, thicker, bigger. a little less prone to breakage. I thought it cooked better. I thought that under the heat, basically I just have a griddle, a little bit of butter just to create a barrier so it doesn't stick, and I just crack the egg. So I'm just doing a classic fried egg. Nothing else going on here. No additional milk or any other products put on. So I did think that the farm raised egg had, I would say, 10 to 20% more flavor. I didn't think it was a remarkable difference. It had a little more. It had an actual smell. I think commercialized eggs are just everything's white and bleached and blanched. There's nothing really going on in terms of the aroma. I think there's plenty of flavor still, but I guess what this goes to show, and I have a duck egg that I haven't tried yet, and I've been warned that's a much more richer umami, sort of savory, almost a meatier flavor, and it's got more of a aroma to more of a pungent sort of earthiness to it, which for some people is a turnoff, but I think I might be drawn to that. Anyway, I don't know I mean, eggs are really expensive. Eggs are great. They're used in baking and cooking. You can do them like I just do a fried egg, scrambled eggs. Eggs are very useful. It's good to have in your pantry. I guess I downplay the massive difference in terms of flavor and texture. There is certainly a difference. I ate both eggs happily today. Obviously, I prefer the farm-raised egg, but to me, I'm not one of those people that has to exclusively have farm-raised eggs or backyard eggs. Up where I am in the Midwest, it became very in vogue to get chickens. I can't really name a good friend that doesn't have a chicken. Or chickens, rather. Yeah, usually you don't have a solo chicken. But anyway, I think it's interesting. I do think it's fun to exchange eggs, and there's a culture there, and there's definitely like getting your hands dirty and being in nature, being around animals. I certainly think that elevates the human spirit to some capacity, but probably not for me. So anyway, what's your feeling on eggs? Do you like eggs? How do you eat eggs? Are you exclusively commercial buyer, which is no problem at all, or do you like to get people's eggs they're from their chickens and their backyards and have a discussion about that? So anyway, I will leave you with these thoughts. Please, please, please watch Sing Sing. Coleman Domingo shines as he always does as an incarcerated playwright in a program that elevates the humanity of all its occupants. And I mentioned hockey a little bit. We talked about eggs and sandwiches. I will see you tomorrow. Like, share, post, be above the line. Goodbye.